All right, consider this just a verbal journal, but something I've been toiling with is just getting a better understanding of what it takes to build athleticism. Right now, there's three general components associated with athleticism. All right, and this is where we have to start to delineate as strength and conditioning coaches and not recognize that one of these pillars is the only pillar. So these three are physical qualities. Okay, so physical qualities, skill, and then the sport itself. And now the important thing here is recognizing that these are not individual silos. They're not just one component that needs to be completed on their own, right? But they are all connected. And this is where I think a lot of strength and conditioning coaches get things wrong, because they put all their eggs in this physical quality development segment. What are the physical qualities? Okay, these are going to be speed, strength, power, coordination, and energy systems. All right, that's the bread and butter of strength and conditioning. But what is this? What is physical qualities? Okay, it's the predisposition for participation in the form of capacity, right? To what degree, or what is the volatility of capacity? What can the athlete produce and do? At what speed? At what capacity? At what rate? Right? That is your physical quality. It's underlying, the expression of skill and the sport skill itself. Right? Skill, it filters into sport quite closely, but it's going to be the sport-specific capacities or the predisposition for competition or playing level. Predispo for playing level, right? The higher the skill, the higher the level of play from a capacity standpoint or from a general decision-making standpoint. And in regards to sport, this is effectively what I would refer to as the decision-making capacity. We'll touch on that in a second. From a skill standpoint, right? Hand-eye, we're looking at it's a response to a stimulus, effectively, right? Well, it is not a response to stimulus. That's sport itself. Skill is going to be a hand-eye coordination. It's going to be able to coordinate body and space, so kinesthetic awareness. It's closed chain or constrained movement. So we look at things like drop step, crossover, catch, pass, push, all these sort of fundamental closed style skills. This can be extrapolated over to things like, can they juggle? Can they jump rope? So a larger, what would you call it? Overarching theme here is like, do they have rhythm? Can never spell this right. Timing. And then sport itself, that's combining everything right into it. So the decision-making capacity, so predisposition to participation within the sport itself. To what degree can we combine the physical qualities, the rhythm and timing, or the skill within the sport itself, right? So this is predominantly recognized as the sporting coach's job, right? To be able to expose them to stimuli that's varied, so that they can produce a response to said stimuli, right? And this could be a visual, physical, tactile, or auditory stimulus, right? So effectively, if we can maximize their overall capacity so they can compete at a high level, combined with the ability to conduct skills in an ordered, predictive, unpredictive, involuntary, voluntary capacity, and filter that into their improved ability to make decisions under duress or stress in a chaotic environment, then we've created the ultimate athlete, right? It's not just one over another. And what happens, because I keep telling you that a lot of strength and conditioning coaches focus on improving this pillar, which is fine, because this is not their job ultimately, but this is where we can create the link in between. So if this is step 1, step 2, and step 3, if we're trying to go right from 1 to 3, we're just simply missing a step. It's illogical, but it's something that's critically missed all the time. So what does skill look like in terms of a strength and conditioning coach's ability to help improve it? Like, what can a strength and conditioning coach do to improve skill? All right. Well, number 1 for me is gamification, right? So this is going to be the missing link, in my opinion, between 1 and 3. Gamification. So this is a constrained exposure to skill. All right. So we're able to allocate specific constraints to a drill or a game or something like that. That is going to have a link or a transference between a physical quality and the sport. So if you're still with me, This is the biggest, most important element of this conversation, whereby, let's just have an example. Okay, we have a baseball player, has to run bases. Okay, main plate. You have to create a hard cut off of a fast acceleration as you crest from first to second base. All right, so to create distance between the home plate and first base, obviously we have to accelerate really hard, and we're almost reaching maximal velocity, where then we recognize that the ball is still in like in the field. They can make a move towards second base. It's a hard cut across. All right, so we know that involved in that, most likely is going to be a right foot plant as they accelerate to the left. We know that there's going to be a high decelerative component, a high accelerative component, a reaction to a stimulus, and a reacceleration. If we break that all the way down, it could be something as simple as, from a physical quality standpoint, improving the athlete's ability to produce force off a quick cut via inversion, or the ability to prevent eversion of the ankle as they're cutting into a base. Another element of this could just simply be rate of force development on it unilaterally, doing single leg Bulgarian splits, drop catches, something like that, something that's reactive, single leg pogos to improve the elasticity, and then using unilateral strength-based movements to improve the overall structural robustness of the leg. That's just a simple example that if we have an element within the sport, we can build that physical quality, and then in the constrained exposure skill game style exposure, sorry, lots of words there. Once we put it into a drill, then we can directly apply these physical qualities in a constrained but open style so that it translates to the game, right? So ultimately in the game of baseball, we want to be able to discern that once the contact has been made, where's the ball in space? Am I going to the next base? So then do I accelerate, decelerate, or accelerate, decelerate to a reacceleration with a change of direction? That's the game. But in the constrained model, we can deliberately expose them to these types of movements. Okay, this is a roundabout way of just saying. Let's just say, oh man, I'm stammering today. Let's just say we have 4 cones set up. Okay, within this space, we could have a 1v1, which is going to force hard cuts of direction. Hard cut and change of direction with reaccelerations and decelerations. We could have multiple participants where we have, the classic British Bulldog, where we have to react to a defender and we have to make decisions of when to cut, accelerate, decelerate, and change direction to be successful to get around. We could also have a constrained space where we have to run a curvilinear movement, whether it's circular, C, or S, something like that. So effectively developing the skill associated with the physical quality that translates into the sport-related component, right? That's strength and conditioning in a nutshell, but it's this component that we're lacking a lot at the time. So I put 1 as gamification, okay? I think that we'll just leave that as an all-encompassing element there. Gamification, or just general game speed exposure, okay? And this does 2 things ultimately. Right, gamification, geez, that's a terrible squiggly bracket. Gamification does 2 things, as we just described. It's obviously refined sport skill. It also increases physical literacy toolkit, right? So you're exposing athletes to varied stimuli that they're unconditioned to, which allows them to problem solve better. So increased problem solving, right? And then I guess a third, or an extension to that, above all this, the best and most important element, in my opinion, is engagement is high, right? If you can get athletes to compete, they're going to have higher outputs and better overall attention to details and effort. Okay, so crazy prezi there, but effectively these are my thoughts on athleticism right now and the importance of it.